Hey, so this is my new channel. Basically, it's going to be dedicated to movies, DVDs, VHS, Blu-ray, Laserdisc, basically collecting and reviews and stuff like that. So I'm going to start with some stuff that I've picked up recently. I've kind of jumped on the post-apocalyptic type genre again. A few years back I started collecting some of the rarer stuff, and at the time there was a few good releases around, like the Bronx Warriors trilogy was brought out by Shameless. That was a really nice box set, and there was a lot of stuff coming out by 23rd Century, stuff like Final Executioner, and a load of other 80s post-apocalyptic movies that were mainly VHS rips, that sort of thing. They were released on thin packs, and you could usually pick them up in like the pound shop and stuff like that. But most of the stuff was decent quality, decent audio, and decent picture. So let's jump into what we've got this week. So I've kind of moved away from the 80s stuff. I'm still picking up the 80s stuff, and that's my favourite era for post-apocalyptic. But I've moved further afield now and started picking up a few things earlier from the 60s onwards, and also some more recent stuff. So here's a recent one which I've not watched yet. I think it arrived a couple of days ago. Some good reviews online, but as you know, you can't really go on the reviews. Plus, I'm a big B-movie fan, so it doesn't have to be slickly done. It just needs to be quirky and fun for me. So this one's called Stakeland. Don't really know much about it. There's a few people on some of the forums that recommended this one, so I'm going to check it out. It's a double disc edition, which is nice. Loads of extra features and stuff. So that's the first one. The second one, I've actually got this on Laserdisc, and I think maybe I might have it on VHS as well. But I had to pick it up because it's been released on Blu-ray. This is I think it's the German release. Solarfighters AKA Solarbabies, I think I've got it as on Laserdisc. I did start watching this when I first got my my Laserdisc player, because it was one of the Laserdiscs that came with the actual player. That was about, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. Can't remember much about it, but the cover looks cool. It's got all your typical post-apocalyptic elements, your vehicles clad with armour, motorbikes, crude weapons, and shoulder pads. You need shoulder pads in post-apocalyptic films. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that again, if it is for the second time. Next one, TC2000. I don't think Antibodies are post-apocalyptic. I bought it because of TC2000. Look at the state of this DVD release. Awful. I've not watched it yet. I think this fella's name is Billy Banks. I've got a few films with Billy Banks in. It was cheap. I think it was a penny on Amazon plus the postage, and it's post-apocalyptic, and you never know. I enjoy this sort of early 90s B-movie stuff as well as the 80s stuff, so we'll see about that one. Another one with awful packaging. There isn't actually. This is Omega Cop, which I actually bought this one for. It's a double film edition. The only relation to each film, I think, is just because it says Cop in the title. The packaging has no details on who has released it. There's no company details. There's a postcode, which I searched, and it comes up with nothing. So, is it official release? Who knows? The quality of the transfer is pretty good, but I should imagine that this cover is from an earlier official release, maybe even an American one. But the film, I watched it today. Really enjoyed it. I mean, the reviews slate it, but I thought it was brilliant. The lead actor, I can't remember what his name is, but he's a poor man's Chuck Norris. His acting's terrible, but his action's good, and the supporting cast are brilliant. It's very much inspired by Bronx Warriors, so you can't go wrong with the Bronx Warriors, and this does a good job of sort of emulating that. And where they don't have the sort of overall vision of the Bronx Warriors, which of course is a rip-off of Escape from New York and Escape from LA, but where it doesn't have the scope, it makes up for in action. So yeah, good one. Another more recent one. Again, people on the forums been talking about this one, not necessarily in the post-apocalyptic sort of chats, but I think it's more zombie than post-apocalyptic. I think it's a zombie film in a post-apocalyptic setting. So it's been done before, but it's supposed to be quite original. So we'll see about that. The Signal. Who's it released by? Optimum Home Video. There's quite a few extras on here as well. So again, that was cheap. I think I picked it up for like £1 or something like that, which is quite cheap for a new release like that. Okay, now we're talking. Sisterhood. Terrible fonts. Awful packaging. The pack's not too bad. Check that out. I don't know the story. Don't need to know the story. Look, they've got the shoulder pads. They've got the motorbikes and the vehicles. Could be awful. Could be a classic. We'll see. Not got around to watching it yet. I'll probably do a review of all of these ones that I've picked up now at some point over the next months, years. Who knows when I'll get around to watching them, but I'll definitely be doing some reviews. Cyberjack. This is a German release. It's got 2002 on the DVD packaging. I'm not sure what year it came out. Don't know anything about this one. Just that it's post-apocalyptic, and it was cheap. Okay, so this one is by the producer, or one of the producers of Star Wars, and it stars Mark Hamill. But it's not Star Wars. I don't think it's anywhere close. But I think I remember seeing this a long time ago, and I think it has got some sort of original elements to it, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. Not expecting too much from it. It's Slipstream, a post-apocalyptic Dirty Harry. Okay, I like the fact that it says that the primary mode of transport is gliders. You see at the top there, which is quite feasible. From the screen captures on the back, it doesn't look too bad at all, so we'll see about that one. Empire of Ash. No, not good. Not good at all. I recently watched a film by, what's his name now? Michael J. Can't remember. A very low budget, Michael J. Murphy, very low budget British post-apocalyptic movie called Death Run. And again, it's inspired by the Bronx Warriors and all the Italian Escape from New York rip-offs. And it's very, very low budget. I'm talking a couple of £100 maybe. But everyone that's in it is passionate about making the film, and the acting's terrible, the action is ridiculous. I mean, they don't come close when they're hitting each other. But it's passable. I enjoyed it. I thought they did a good job with the budget. This has got a bigger budget, a much bigger budget. You're talking quite a few thousands. It's got everything that you want. It's got the vehicles, it's got loads of extras with guns and explosions, it's got scantily clad or naked women. The two lead female characters both get naked. It's got the lot, and yet it just doesn't work. The acting is so poor. The plot disappears at times. Like the filmmakers completely forget what the plot was meant to be, so they just show 2 minutes of somebody naked being rubbed down with some oil so that the viewer just forgets what the plot might have been. Nobody's going to remember what it was, and then they just pick it up from a random action scene, just a 5-minute fight. So no, not good. But this one's another 23rd century release. You can pick it up cheap, so if you're into collecting post-apocalyptic, it's probably worth getting. If not, don't bother. Steel Frontier. Looks like a 90s one. Can't tell because it's in the Roman numerals. Not watched it yet. We'll be doing. We'll review it. All I know is it's post-apocalyptic, and on the back there's some familiar post-apocalyptic style vehicles, a bit Mad Max sort of chase there. We'll see. Might be surprised with that one. She. Very Conan the Barbarian looking. I'm sure it is post-apocalyptic, but that's about all I know about it. She. That's it. That's all I know about that. Now I've got tons and tons and hundreds of more post-apocalyptic movies that I could run through, and I might do a special post-apocalyptic special with I must have about, I don't know, 30, 40, maybe even more post-apocalyptic movies if you class all the recent ones, I Am Legend and 28 Days Later, stuff like that. Tons of VHSs, tons of laser discs and DVDs. So I'll do a special on the post-apocalyptic thing. But that's it for now. I'll also do some unboxing and packages, because at the minute I'm on a binge again of buying stuff. So there'll be plenty of that as well. So if you like what you see, or you're interested in any of this trash, subscribe, like, comment. I'll be back with another video soon. I have to keep my voice down because everyone's in bed, and this is the only time I get to do these videos. So apologies if the audio is not very good. I was planning to actually record the audio with a separate audio recorder, so I get it a bit closer and a bit louder, but might do that next time if the audio doesn't come out very well on this one. So that's it for now. Catch you later.